Hello, everyone. So today I'm with Mrs. Patel, Mrs. Jasmine Patel, and she's the only Mrs. Patel who is a white woman, Caucasian Patel. So lovely to meet you, Mrs. Patel. I'm very happy that connecting the world allowed you to find Mr. Patel, and through my network, you were able to find him, and I'm very happy for him and you that you find love and connection and collaboration. So, um, today, Jasmine wants to talk about connecting people. But before that, I wanted to share something with Jasmine and other people who are Caucasian who have never traveled to India or Pakistan. Um, Jasmine, you have been talking to a lot of people from Pakistan
Yes.
for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to because you have never traveled here physically, and I saw that you were publicly um, talking about a boy
Mm-hmm.
uh, who didn't listen to you. So I want to just give you a little bit of cultural perspective. I'm sure your husband has done the same, but I want to tell you that Pakistan, there are three new Pakistan which are born in only the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
What is that supposed to mean? It means that Pakistan was 30 million smartphones, and now it's 150 million smartphones only in the last 3 years.
Oh wow.
So the United States got to 100% smartphone penetration maybe 5, 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. But Pakistan has got into smartphone now. It's only still 75%. Women are still getting on board,
Mm-hmm.
but majority have never had a smartphone.
Yes.
Majority have never talked to a woman who was not their cousin in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Majority have never spoken to any non-Pakistani human being, and majority thinks that outside Pakistan there's nothing but, I don't know what they think, but it's something which, just like majority Americans think there's nothing outside after Mexico, the world just ends. And there is
Yes.
something called Europe, but nobody's going there. So, just like in the United States, only 5% people have a passport.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, in Pakistan, maybe not even 5% have passport. They would like to have, but they don't apply even. Just like you never applied, you didn't have a reason to apply for a
Right.
passport, right? So the people who are messaging you or are annoying you, my friend Aliki, I don't know if you talked to her. She gave me one of the best examples of Pakistani people anybody has ever done. So this is how she explains Pakistanis are like. She says Pakistani people are like small little children hiding behind a wall and peeking outside when they see somebody different or new,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're like small little children. And then if you say hello, come on over here, one of them will come, and then they will come one and two, and then they will be all around you, and they will be like touching you, and they will be like poking you because they've never actually experienced somebody from outside. And on top of that, if you're a girl, oh boy, you're like,
Oh yeah, I know that. Mm-hmm.
so because they just have never had an experience.
Mm-hmm.
I want to share a small little story. This is before you were born, even. I was in Singapore. The year was probably 1993.
Mm-hmm.
This is almost when I got email.
Mm-hmm.
So I met a girl at a backpacker space, and she was from, I don't know, she was from America or Canada or somewhere. And she said, I've been to Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, nobody goes to Pakistan, but how come you're there? So she said, well, I was there, but I want to tell you what happened with me there. I said, oh.
Okay.
And then she said, whenever I was walking somewhere, people will just come out of nowhere and just touch me like this.
Oh wow.
And I was like, that's so embarrassing for me. I'm so sorry that they did that to you. And she said, well, don't be embarrassed because when I went to Italy, people were going on my ass and pinching me there. I was like, oh, that's
Oh,
like yucky. But the point here is that people in Pakistan are just anxious, or not anxious, are curious, and they're excited when they see a foreigner, for sure, because it's been a while. We don't get a lot of foreigners in our
right.
country, and so when they see a foreigner in even online. So, for example, look at this guy, whoever he is. Where is he? I don't want to call names, but he gave me a great opportunity. Here you go.
Oh,
So he's writing Turkey. So Turkey means a person who likes to watch women,
okay.
or just be around them, or just watch them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because nobody has an opportunity to even see women, they have even a term for it. Oh, you're a Turkey. You're just excited by women. Every human being is excited by the other opposite sex. It's in the limbic system. It's nothing to do with me. It's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
The way you act after you're excited is what makes you human being.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like drooling after watching a person, that's like you're what's different between you and a dog. And that the human being's job is to be able to control their nerves. So that's something which I wanted you to be aware of in bringing you in your awareness, that these are kids who have never been exposed, who are like crying in a candy store, or
Right.
they just don't, they're not exposed.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, you're a kid also. You're just 21, but you're a very wise kid.
22.
Okay, 22. My daughter is 24. So um, you're just less experienced, right? And it's not a bad thing, but you're still a very wise girl. So I'm not saying there's something wrong with it. It's just that you have not been here. You haven't really eaten the food here or been there, and it's different. So once you experience it, you will understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about. So you're welcome still. I thought you wanted to move to Pakistan, but then instead you moved to Canada. You
Well,
guys,
things happen, things happen, and just gotta roll with it. I'm
yeah,
definitely gonna visit Pakistan, though. Definitely.
we lost a very good citizen, by the way. So
Yeah, well,
so
things happen.
anyway, so now we have this school, and in this school we have potential 200 students who you can be friends with.
Yes.
Then we have another incubator which has potential 120 students
Mm-hmm.
who are there part time. But the school children I'm more excited about because they're there full time, they're there every day.
Right.
They have the internet access, they're allowed to use the internet, they're allowed to use Facebook, they're allowed to have a conversation with you. Here's another teacher of
Oh,
ours,
I know her. She's such the sweetest lady. Hello, Nasima. Love you. Haven't
right?
actually met her, but we've talked. Yes, she's amazing.
Right. So you're more than welcome to connect and communicate and collaborate, because that's how we will grow as humanity.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's the answer to all the world's problems, especially today with all the technology.
To me, it is, but people think there are other ways, but you never know.
Well, it doesn't matter what field you're going into. If you know the skills of connection, communication, and collaboration and can do it effectively, then you'll be a lot more successful than you would if you would have done it alone. And I can't think of one successful person who's gotten there on their own. Yeah.
So I'm going to. So tell me, what is communication to you, and what is collaboration to you, and what is connection to you?
Well, connection is that's the start. That's the start of a friendship or a relationship. That's when two or more people meet and stuff. That's the initial connection. So with Facebook, it could be the sending of a friend's request or anything like that. Um, Communication to me is, again, when two people talk or they message each other. That's the exchange of information, and collaboration is when two or more people support one another, and collaboration can happen in a multitude of ways, but collaboration to me is the synchronistic joining of two people with different strengths and abilities, and they just come together like two puzzle pieces fitting together. So that's what connection, communication, and collaboration mean to me.
All right. So, what problem in the world do you want to solve if you had the lamp of Aladdin?
Hmm. Would love to solve the problem of communication, because you know most problems that exist here in this world can be solved if people can learn how to communicate better. Because there's been so many times um, where there hasn't been effective communication and then problems occur. So if people can learn how to talk and get their message out accurately, then that would be really good for the world.
So, what's the platform currently there, which has the job of effective collaboration,
Well, I mean, I
planet
guess,
wise, planet wide?
well, I guess any job, really. I mean,
United Nations is the biggest one, I would think, that they need to collaborate the most.
yes, United Nations, NATO, all those, all those huge organizations that deal with multiple countries, they're the
So
biggest.
I have created two platforms, three actually. One is called the Institute of Peace. It
Hmm.
was based on people communicating and collaborating with each other. That's a fundamental platform for it. Second one I have made is Planet Union.
Yes.
Planet Union's job is to create a United Nations for the people by the people,
Hmm.
and you can take over it. You can be part of it. And
Yeah.
the third is very important, which is it's called, I can't even remember the name. I created so many things. So the whole purpose of this third one, um, why can't I remember? It's World Safety Alliance. The
Oh, okay.
World, the World Safety Alliance is purpose is that in the world today there is $2,000 billion a year spent on arms.
Wow, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
So imagine if you were to make a 1% impact of that, how much money is that?
I can't even calculate that.
2
That'd be a lot.
billion, dollars,
Wow, that's a lot.
right? Well, I'm sorry, not $2 billion, $20 billion.
That's even more. That's a lot.
That's more money than the entire country of Pakistan spends on arms.
Wow.
So out of that $2,000 billion, $1,000 billion is spent by your country.
Whew. Wow.
And if we had $80 billion spent on World Food Program, there will be nobody hungry left in the world.
Exactly. Yes. People think that war is the answer. It's not. It
Right.
just creates more problems.
Right. So I would love for you to volunteer in either the World Safety Alliance, or the people Planet Union. The way the World Safety Alliance works is basically you make friends with,
Hmm.
say, a person who is a small guy in NATO in Poland,
Hmm.
and then you go further up, further up, further up till you actually go and interview the person who runs NATO in Poland,
Oh, wow.
and then you do the same thing in Germany, you do the same thing in Austria, you do the same thing in France, and slowly everybody who's running NATO is friend of yours.
Wow, now that would be yeah, I definitely want to do that. That'd be really cool.
Then you do the same thing with other. There are around 100 military alliances in the world.
Wow.
Then you do the same with GCC. You do the same thing with SARC. You do the same thing with China. Blah blah blah. So
Hmm.
there are so many alliances, and you just become friends with them.
Right.
And then what do you do with friends? You throw a party, and all of your friends come, and then people from NATO come, people from China come, people from blah 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 come, and they're all having dinner together.
Hmm.
And there in their spot, a Jasmine is sitting next to a Praveen Patel. Hmm. Eyeing each other. So
I don't know.
that's
Craven, get over here now. Come on. I wasn't sure if I was going to do this. Get
that's
over here now. You're going to see Craven when he's a human. There he
Hello,
is.
Rehan Bhaijan. Assalamualaikum.
how are you?
Dehavan alhamdulillah. How are
I
you?
think you should go back to sleep, dude.
Yeah, I think you should follow Rehan's
Okay,
advice.
continue. But I'm happy. I'm so happy. You two having amazing, humanitarian work. Proud of you.
Okay, so that's what basically you do. You just have chit chat with people who
Yeah.
are in the right space, who need to talk to each other, but they're not.
Hmm.
So imagine you wanted to solve the Israel-Palestinian problem
Hmm.
or Russian-Ukrainian problem. How would you solve it?
Um, well, actually, I've already been thinking about this. Um, well, first I'd interview people from Russia and Ukraine respectively, and then I'd start up a show and combine the Russians and Ukrainians and ask them questions about the war and what they think about it and everything, and things that they can do to stop it and everything, and um, and then eventually the ladder will climb up. Eventually, I'd get connections to people that are higher up the ladder in both countries, and then I'd combine those two, and they'd start talking it out and stuff. And who knows? I mean, then I'd get the two presidents on together, and then they'd talk things out, and then boom, problem solved.
Exactly. So you know the drill. And basically that's what, if a lot of people were doing this, it will eventually get solved, because I know people, you know people, then we all know people, and then slowly we find the connection and we reach and we collaborate and problems get solved.
It's a domino effect, you know. We
Yeah.
we got to
So
keep on doing it because
so
success
how would
doesn't.
you so how would you find them?
Well, I find them through, well, LinkedIn would be the best place because that's where the okay. I don't need.
Majority of the people will be on LinkedIn and Twitter, and you just
Yes.
start your podcast and say, "Hey, I'm just Jasmine. I do a blog with Jasmine thing," and a lot of people will say yes, and they will join you, and then it's just for fun. And slowly but surely, you will start, just like what I did in the last 15 years. You're like Rehan 2.0, anyways. So you're on steroids. When I was 22, I didn't have the internet the way you have.
Hmm.
And just continue connecting. And sometime when I look at your work, it's like somebody's like photocopying or xeroxing my brain, to you. It's like literally you're doing exactly the same stuff I would have
Yeah,
done.
I know. Yeah, I know. I thought about that too, and it's like, okay. I'm practically the female version of Rehan, except I'm
And a
just.
younger version, half the age of the person.
Gee, I can't imagine where I'm gonna be at in like 5, 10 years.
So if you keep on doing this, you will definitely end up into places which would be very important, because slowly, if you just keep your anger in control and emotion in control, you will rise the game. You will go up, level up, level up, level up, level up. But the first thing, emotion.
I've gotten a lot better with that. I've
But
gotten a
it's
lot.
but it's the age thing. You have the age where you have those those hormones and chemicals coming in and messing up everything. That's,
Yeah.
and
Ain't
it's
no
not your fault.
yes.
And that's where meditation comes in. So if you go for vipassana, which I've been asking you to do, now you are in Toronto, you can do it in Toronto also. Take a whenever you're ready to take a 10 days break, go and do it.
I've actually Praven told me about that actually. He told me what Vishpashana meditation was all about.
But it's one thing to know how butter tastes like, and it's one thing to taste the butter.
Oh, I know that. But at
So
least I know about it.
right. Well, as I said, you have a lot of knowledge. Now, if you convert it, you can have a phenomenal life ahead of you, because if you use your three C's formula, connection, collaboration, and communication, you will solve any problem. And why not start with one of the most interesting one, where we are humans are wasting a lot of money, which is $2,000 billion every year. It's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. And like just imagine if all that money was spent on important things like food and water and schooling and everything else. Like all the problems in the world would be solved. But no, people are still closed-minded. They still don't understand that. It's
Well, you
like
shouldn't say that. People are not close minded. People are people, which means that they become what they're taught. So you
yeah.
cannot say that they're close minded. Your parents were not close minded. They just were who they were,
Mhm.
because where they grow up, what they
Right.
learned all their life, the exposure they got, the information they got. We all are. I am the way I am based on the people I met in my life, based on the connections I made in my life. So never ever say people are close-minded, because when you say that, you're making them in the or the other person.
Right.
So if you do that, then it's not a good thing.
Mhm.
If you want to be on the path of collaboration,
Right.
you ask questions. The Socrates method is to ask questions. You never tell them the answer ever. The
Mhm.
moment you tell them the answer, you're mocking them. You're telling them you're better than them.
Yeah,
So
it's like a person's taking a test and you give them the answers. It's
they
like
will never follow the answers,
exactly. You
because
gotta
it's coming from you.
mhm.
So you have to allow them to Google it. So for example, if I said, Jasmine, why don't you Google how much money do we spend a year on arms race? So now that changes from what Rehan told you to what you found on the internet. So now
Right.
it becomes your property. It's no longer Rehan's property. It's your property, that your knowledge, your information, you Googled it. I didn't tell you. And
Mhm.
and you take that number, and then you start thinking, oh my God. And then I ask you, hey Jasmine, how much money would it take to end world hunger? And you just Google it. And you're like, oh, $80 billion. Duh. We have $2,000 going on, um, allowing people to protect our ideology from another ideology,
Mhm.
saying we are better than others, and at the same time, we're not spending $80 billion on, which is
Right.
like 4% of
Mhm.
the entire human spending on arms. Well, can't we cut down 4%? So you can start with that. You can say, hey guys, why don't we? Can I just help you somehow to collaborate more, so you can spend 4% less, so we can end world hunger? You know, they were like, duh, why not? Let's do it. Let's 4% is not a big number. So people don't want nobody wants to change 100%,
Mhm.
but everybody will agree to change zero point 0.1 or a percent, 1%, because it's like, oh, I can do that, no problem. I'm good enough. But if you say, well, can you do 10%? That's very hard.
Mhm. Yes. I agree.
So make a team, start volunteer. Until you make a team, you just keep on doing. It will take you some time, a few years, before people will start believing you and trusting you and actually doing well. in your case, you already have a team. You've been doing this for a year, but you have people, amazing people like Laura, and other
Yes,
people who are.
Laura is amazing. Like I'm okay, I'm gonna kind of use her an example. Like my God, when I met Laura a year and a half ago, wow. And she's come such a long way, and now she's doing great things and everything, and she's an author and a motivational speaker, and I'm really proud of Laura. And I really encourage you to reach out to her and have a live session with her, because she has such an amazing story, an inspiring story that could inspire a lot of people.
Sure, no problem. So here's a nice question. Nasima is asking, what motivates you to collaborate with other people?
That is a great question. I got a great answer. Well, my motivation is, well, I just love people. I love connecting with people and learning new things. So like the more I work with people, the more I do it, the more I get hope, and that hope for a better world fuels me, and I just keep on going and I start doing more.
I think that's the same answer I would give. When I have seen what collaboration can do, and I've seen what people can achieve by you just getting two people in the same room. It's
Right.
amazing. It's just astounding things that happen. Now, to a lot of when you're doing it, it sounds like so slow, and it's like so. For me, it's like so slow that it's taking time. But eventually, few years down the road, if you can imagine that you're like growing a large tree, which will take 10 years to fruit. It keeps you going. You're like, eventually there will be fruit of this. I will eventually see, or maybe somebody else will sit in the shadow of the tree, but eventually there would be a shadow which somebody would use, and we will die. Trees live longer than human beings sometimes.
I thought up of a perfect analogy, and this is something that my husband taught me. And thank you, Praven, for teaching me this. Where energy goes, where intention goes, energy flows. Big or small your action is, it will add up. It's like putting money into a piggy bank. You could put $1 in, $10, $1 billion, or a cent. It doesn't matter. It will add up eventually, and you will get to where you need to go. And it'll take time. But if you keep going and you keep believing yourself, you can achieve anything.
So yeah, fantastic. Nasima has another question. How important is collaboration in the workplace? It's collaboration.
Collaboration is so important. I mean, collaboration can be as simple as two people working together. I mean, you've probably collaborated with people before. It's not that hard. But the reason why collaboration is important in the workplace, because the more people just work together and get the vibe going, the more results they'll produce, and the faster they'll get to where they need to be. And besides, when people collaborate with each other, the more communication happens, and there'll be less problems along the way because people will be on the same page.
It's like asking, how important is it to collaborate with your husband? Of course, it's important to
I
collaborate with your husband.
do. Yes, you have to. I mean, if you don't collaborate with your husband, like, what's the point? Yes, and Laura says it perfectly. For excellence, collaboration must occur. Nice one, Laura. Or as I say, mom. She's my soul mom.
All right, cool. So, anything you want to say before I end it?
No, not really. I think I've said all I needed to say.
So, I want you to be a little proactive with our school children, and the way you will see that their school children is, one, they will have a Vala in the end. Second, they will have a photo with the Rehan School logo in the background. So you can just add them and then just say, hello, how are you doing? And, help them speak. And once you're
Yes.
friends with a couple of them, they will just start flocking. Remember the analogy I gave you of people
Mhm.
hiding the wall. It's just that they're hesitant to have communication with you. It's just hesitation. There's no reason for it. It's just hesitation.
I
Same
under-
thing for anybody, huh?
I understand. Yeah.
And you know, so if you can reach out to them, that will be lovely, and they will become little Jasmines in there. Lots of girls over there who would love to become little Jasmines, and they're very talkative, they're very friendly, they're very sweet, but they're just shy, and you just have to open them up. And the same goes for the teachers. The teachers are pretty amazing, but they're very shy. They're just have never had a friend on the internet,
Right.
especially an American person. So if you just reach out and say hello, same thing for Laura. If you just reach out, same thing for Paul. I know it's busy. You guys are busy people, but if you just reach out to them and think of them as little children, it will definitely help them out. And don't look at their ages. A
Oh no, I
person who
don't.
has never done something, they're just hesitant of doing that, right?
Yes. When
Think
I
of
look
them
at
as small Praveen Patels.
Aw, Craven heard that. He smiled.
Uh,
You heard that, right? You heard that.
Let him sleep. Let him sleep.
Oh, he's watching. No, he's so cute. So there was one time where I was doing a live video here, and he was in bed and he was watching the live video through his phone, even though I was right here. I mean, now that's support. I don't know. I just had to.
Don't burn him out. He's not 22.
He's 52, but who cares? I'm
I
human.
know.
He's human.
I
We're in.
care. The body is not the same when you're 22 and 52. It's different.
Actually, you'd be surprised. Praven does not. Praven does not look 52. He don't act 52. He don't feel like 52, if you know what I mean. And he just, okay, when I look at him, I look at I
It's
look at
not
his
about
soul.
it's
Huh?
not about the soul. It's the body which gets exhausted after certain hours of usage. So I'm
No,
just saying,
no, no,
you are 22. You can work 3x than him. He's a marathon man for sure. But I have already said what I wanted to say. It's let's move away from it.
Let's agree to disagree, okay?
Uh, okay. So here's a wonderful question by Nabil, and he's saying how to make social collaboration. I don't know what that means, Nabil, but if you can elaborate your question, I would answer it. But in the meantime, Jasmine, go ahead.
Social collaboration. Well, you can't have collaboration of any kind without connection and communication. Because in order to have collaboration, what do you need? You need people. Okay. That's called connection. Okay. So and what do you need for communication? Oh, you need connection. If there's no connection, this is what I say. If there's no connection, communication and collaboration cannot happen. If um if there's no okay, this is where I get screwed up. And if there's no collaboration, connection and communication cannot exist. So you can't have one without the other two. And they have to go in order. But to start the communication and collaboration, you have to have the connection. It's like a must. So, in to answer his question, in order to make social collaboration, you got to connect with people and you got to talk to them. In other words, communicate with them. And that's how you end up collaborating with them.
So start with saying hello. My name is Nabil. This is where I'm from. This is what my life's mission is. This is who I am. And just say it and don't worry about them liking you. Four people out of 100 people, if you were the prince of Thailand, they would not like you. If you were the Princess Diana, they would not like you. Four people will, out of 100 people, will never like you. Four
Right.
people out of 100 people will always like you, no matter how you are. It doesn't matter. But those are not the same four people. So you have to go out there talk to 100 people, and figure out who are the four people who you want to avoid eventually, and who are the four people you want to stay near to. So, no matter how hard you try, don't try to get liked by the four people who don't like you, and don't stay away from the four people who like you, because it's just a natural process. They will just like you. So it's just a numbers game. So you just have to go out there and say hello. And I never understood this part. Whenever I was in the US and I was saying, I can't talk to people, I'm scared of them. And they're like, just be yourself. I said, well, what
Exactly.
can I say?
Be yourself. Either people are gonna like you or they're not gonna like you. It's not
Yeah.
your problem, it's theirs.
Yeah. But then, they never explained me this number. So I'm trying to explain that no matter how hard you try, four people will just not like you after 100. So you might end up with the four people who don't like you in the first 100 people you're meeting.
Right.
So you might say, oh my God, nobody likes me. But that's not true. You have to go to the fifth person and the sixth person and the
Yes.
seventh person and the eighth person and the ninth person and the 10th person. And eventually there you will find the person who does like you. So
Hmm.
don't think about people don't like you. People
And
are different.
hmm
Go ahead.
and if you're interested in learning more about the three C's, I recently made an online class. So I'll be doing my second class. Same thing, but different timing. This Saturday at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which would be 11 o'clock p.m. And one of my first students from the other day will be bringing his group of friends at that time. So if any of you want to join as well and learn from me, please do. I just had to throw that out there.
So send me a flyer. I will make a post. And if you want, are you charging or is it free?
It's totally free. I don't charge people for this.
Okay, so well, do couple of courses, but then start charging because people will actually value you more if you charge for it. If you can have a lower charge, you can charge $20, you can charge $10, but or you can say you have to pay something. It can be $1. But
Oh
you
yeah,
have to pay something because then they don't even show up. It's
I
like
know. It's just the fact that right now it's like I'm really not in the place where I could charge. But once I get a bank account and everything and
you
get
can
myself
have a bank account. You can just open a bank. You have a PayPal. That's fine.
well, I can. That's a little bit more complicated than I thought. So
Ask
I'm just,
me.
huh?
Ask me. Tell me what's the complicated part.
Well, the only thing is the whole address thing, and I don't live at home anymore, but I don't live here yet. So I
So
if I put my address, I guess it'll be okay.
you have a PayPal account, right?
Well, yeah, but it's currently linked to my former address in New Hampshire, and I don't live there anymore.
So
So
what? It's not like they're sending you a check.
I don't know how PayPal works yet, so I wouldn't
So
know.
can I tell you how it works?
Sure.
So PayPal is like a wallet. You have a wallet which is empty. You put in
Mhm.
money and the money is in your wallet. And then you go out to 7-Eleven, to McDonald's, and you take out money and you pay them through the wallet. And that's it. It
Okay.
doesn't, it just doesn't get shipped. The money doesn't get shipped to an address. It's
Oh,
inside your wallet, which is on the internet, which is in your pocket on your phone.
wow.
So I have not been on my home address in the United States for 10 years.
Right. Okay.
And my PayPal works.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, now since I know that, I gotta activate it again and get that straightened out. Okay. That was the only thing I was worried about, but now since I know that,
And now you are married to Pravin, and you can use Canada address if you wanted to change, which again doesn't matter because you don't really need an address to use PayPal. PayPal is not sending you a check. It's just
right.
a wallet, which is a space for you to store money. So if
Okay.
somebody decided that they wanted to pay you, they
They can
would
just pay
they
pay.
can just pay you on your number. It's a number or a on PayPal or your email address, and the money just sits there.
Well, yeah, it's just right now I want to get more experience and stuff and get my class out there and once more
What if nobody shows up at the classroom?
okay, well maybe I'll start charging, maybe.
Yeah, do a few free classes
Yes.
and then start charging. I will. Do you have a Facebook group for the 3Cs classroom?
Of course, you joined. You're an admin.
Okay, so I can make another post for it, and people will show up, and you will have 500 students.
Wow. Yeah, you said you were going to do that earlier, and I never saw anything. But that's okay. Things
I
happen.
I say a lot of things. You just have to follow up sometimes.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for telling me. Oh, yeah, like that time where it was the other day.
If something
Where,
slips my mind, you can just say, Rehan, you told me you will do this. You haven't done it. Can you please do it? That's it.
well, I feel like I'm being rude when I say that.
Well, I am giving you permission to be able to follow up on
Okay. All right.
that.
All right. Thank you.
It's a bad training which I have. So go
Oh,
on and learn that.
okay. Okay. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, that makes sense.
So my suggestion for you to, if you want to teach them three C's, is by you should teach it by something which they desire.
Hmm.
Right? When you see, have you seen a Coca-Cola ad?
Have I seen one? It's
A Gucci ad? Have you seen any television advertisement? Right?
yeah.
It's most of the time not about the product, but there's just a girl walking and doing something.
Yes.
Right? It's because they want to catch attention. So they're basically sending a message that if you join, this is what can happen. So if somebody joins your classroom for triple C, which is communication, connection, and collaboration,
Hmm.
they are bound to make more money.
Right.
They're bound to have a better life. They're bound to be happy. So that is what is achieved by the three C's.
Hmm.
You don't have to, when you see a Coca-Cola advertisement, they don't say to you, if you, this Coca-Cola is made of this chemical or that chemical or so much sugar.
Hmm.
Just showing the end goal, the end game. This is what will happen if you drink Coca-Cola. You will be happy. Or if you use the X effect, or deodorant or a shampoo, this is how beautiful you will look like. But it doesn't work that way. You have to use it a couple of times, 100 times, 50 times before it actually works. So if you help them say, you know what, come on over, I will help you learn freelancing, or I'll help you earn $1,000.
Hmm.
They would be more interested in doing that than learning three C's. But if without three C's, they can't really earn $1,000.
Hmm. Oh, nice. Someone already made me a poster for the class this Saturday. Wow. Okay. Yeah, the one of my first students from the other day, he offered to make a poster for this coming class, and he did. So I sent it to you. So
So do you think you can teach basic Canva, basic freelancing, basic Fiverr to them?
Canvas definitely, because I know how to use Canvas. I've been using Canvas, so yes. Fiverr and freelancing, I'm going to say no because um those, I mean, to each his own, but for me, those don't really interest me. But Canvas, yes, can definitely teach people how to use Canvas.
So if somebody comes to you and says, hey, I really need help, I need to make some money, can you guide me? Would you say yes or no?
I'd say no because it's not my expertise, and I'm not going to say yes to something I don't know anything about.
I understand. But if you could help them, would you be willing to help them?
Well, yes, and I can help them using the skills and the knowledge that I know. Like
Right.
I can help them
If you
by
go out there and you say, and you watch a 5-minute video, and you already know how to install any app, right? You can install
yes.
any app, you can open an account. Now, most people don't know how to even install an app.
Hmm.
So if you tell them, remember, 3 countries are born in the last 3 years. They don't really know how to use their phone.
Oh,
I get
okay.
people who have double master's degree. I tell them, here's my documentary on how to uh, make the money, and they say, "How should I watch the documentary?" And I'm like,
Oh boy.
"Oh." So the stuff
Right.
which you take for granted, if you communicate with them, it will help them.
You know, I never thought of it that way.
So
Yeah, because if I teach them, well, yeah, I know
so
something
you
about
would
that.
say, hey, so you want to use, okay, let's learn how to use Fiverr, right? So why don't you open the Play Store? They will say, what is a Play Store? And you know how to say what is a Play Store.
Yes.
Then you will say, okay, this is how you find the Play Store, or let me play a video which shows you how to open the Play Store,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then you help them say, okay, search for Fiverr, and they find
Then
Fiverr.
they do that, and then say, okay,
And
click on the
is
app.
that something you know or you don't know?
Hmm?
Is that something you know how to do to install apps or not?
Yes, I do. I know how to install apps. I've been doing it
They
all my life.
don't know how to install apps. Why do you think I have been banging my head on the wall with these people talking about Canva and Fiverr? It's so simple, but they don't know because they have never ever installed an app in their life before. Some they go to a cell phone store, they pay them $1, and then somebody installs Facebook for them, somebody installs Gmail for them, and then they start using and they don't even know how it works.
Yeah, because someone else did it for them. They didn't do it themselves,
Now, all of a sudden, they have the phone. They are some girl or woman or a housewife who's looking for help to
and they
install an
can't
app,
help them
and they
because they
can't.
don't know how to do it.
They have never. They don't have some. For some reason, they're unable to install these apps. They for some reason they're unable to click new project
I know
or
exactly what I'm doing now. I know it. Wow, thank you. Yes, I know exactly what I'm going to do
so.
now.
If you just get them in a room on a Zoom call
Yes, I can
and
share the
just
screen and then
and
guide
then
them down.
you say, "Hey, who in the room would like to teach Abdul Shakur how to install Canva?" Somebody will raise hand. Oh, I can do that. Oh, okay. You go out, collaboration. You go out and
Yes,
teach them collaboration, right? You say, okay, Abdul Shakur, can you please call Azma Omar and help them install the Canva app? Yes, Jasmine, no problem. You got communication, collaboration going right there. Then, when that is installed, you say, okay, who in this room would like to help Laura install Fiverr? I don't know how to use Fiverr, but does anybody here knows how to use Fiverr? And somebody would say,
I do.
oh, I do. And then you say, okay, your job is to go and help them install Fiverr. Can you do that? Yes, ma'am, I can do that. That's collaboration right there for you. So you're teaching them basically communication, collaboration through a project,
So we're actually doing it. Yes.
right? So what better thing that, and in the end, they just ask questions,
Hmm.
and your job is not to find them answers. Your job is to help them learn how to find answers themselves
And then
or
once they
through
do,
collaboration.
yes, and then once they do, they can help other people do the same thing. And then it's just a whole domino effect. Like I said,
And if you help anybody earn $1,000, would they be happy for you, or would they pray for you, or would they be angry at you?
they'd be happy for me because I was the one that helped them out.
Boom, boom, boom.
Wow. You
So
have a
instead of saying that you're going to teach CCC, you say, you know what, we're going to come and learn how to make $1,000 a month. We're going to collaborate on how to make $1,000 a month. We're going to start communicating, collaborating, and connecting. We will connect with each other. Then we will talk to each other, communicate with each other, and we will collaborate to earn $1,000 a month. That's what I do all day long. I don't know how to make money from Fiverr. I don't know how to use Canva even.
You don't?
I don't.
Do you want me to teach you?
I have no interest in learning how to do that. Why? Because my job is to allow collaboration to happen so that other people who need students
We'll get them.
can connect with the people who want a teacher. I'm a collaborator. I'm a facilitator. My job is not to teach them.
You're a connector.
I'm the
You get
connector,
people
and that's
together.
what you are.
Yeah. Like I don't yeah, it's like people have messaged me, "Oh, hey, help me find a remote job in the US." It's like I don't do that. I mean, I can connect you with people.
Right.
If
What
you
you
send
can
me.
do is from now on, you can say, okay, you know what? On Saturday, 10 p.m., we're going to do a collaboration seminar on how to find a remote job. And then you have 500 people come in, join the seminar, charge them $1, or do a Facebook paid live, which is something new which you can use now. When you're live, Facebook pays you for that, or and they have to pay to join.
Right.
So you get 500 people in the room,
Mm-hmm.
each paid $1. How much money did you make?
$500.
Is that good enough every week to pay the house rent to Patel, Mr. Patel?
Um.
Right?
Yeah.
It's $2,000 right there. So you get them all in the same room, and then you say, okay, today we have an expert. His name is XYZ. He's going to talk about what is remote job. So he's going to just explain what's a remote job. And then he will explain more. And then the people will ask questions. And then you're the facilitator. You say,
Right.
that's not how it's done. You need to be quiet right now. You need to be stay, you can't let him speak, blah, blah, blah. So you are the facilitator towards connection, communication, and collaboration.
Wow. Damn, that opened a whole bunch of doors for me. Yeah,
And
that makes
you're
sense.
you're getting paid for what you love to do.
Well, that's yeah, okay. Wow. That's good. That's really good stuff. You know, Rehan, you have a way of opening up people's eyes and giving them things that they never thought about. And then they end up doing those things and then they end up so much more successful.
So no more triple C. You just no more CCC. Your job is to empower people in getting to their goals, whatever their goal is. If they want a remote job, I do a weekly classroom for remote jobs. You come on in, we will talk about remote jobs. We will discuss how to get one. I will find you a person who is expert. That person is looking for customers. And you have the customers. You have me. You can get 500 customers like that anytime you want. I can make a post, boom, you have a group full of 500 people who are working for remote job.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody wants a VA job, virtual assistant job, you get somebody who is an expert on VA. You get them to speak about it. You help them Google it. They're not Googling enough. They're not YouTubing enough. They're so tensed, and they're so. Remember, right before you were coming, you were so upset about your passport.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Imagine if somebody said, we're going to have a collaboration, we are going to have a meetup, and we're going to talk about how to get your passport quickly.
Yeah.
Right? You would jump on that group, you will be there, and you're just, oh, thank you for your support. I really needed somebody to tell me exactly what to do, because when you're panicking, you can't see what's right in front of you. Or you need somebody to support you, or you want somebody to just be there for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you want to be that person anyways.
Yeah, and with that, I actually was looking that up, and then I realized for myself that there was no way I was gonna get my passport quick. So now I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna let it go and it
But if
all
there
worked
were,
out.
but if there were 5 other people who said, you know what, I got them my passport overnight, this is how you do it, wouldn't you be happier?
Well, yeah, but
So this,
but it
this
didn't
is all
happen that
I'm asking you to, because you did not know 500 people who were looking for passport, right? But
way.
now, if you can get 500 people who are looking for a remote job in one room and
Mhm.
get 1% information with each of them together to collaborate better, that's 500% the information right there within the room.
Right.
Within the room, you already have people who know how to sign up. Somebody would definitely know how to do something. Somebody would know how to do something. You're the coach. Your job is to, hey, get in line. No, you discipline them, you organize them, you connect them, you collaborate them. Boom, problem solved.
Problem solved. I never thought about it that way. That's good. That is really good. I'm still gonna do my class, but I can do that in yeah, okay. I know how I'm gonna do it now. Yeah.
But the class, it is the class. What I'm trying to tell you, you will do your class in the same way, but now there's a project around it. You're teaching them what is the end goal and end game of your classroom.
Let me grab my phone and let me look that up. Cause
I join your classroom. I show up at 2 p.m. Eastern time. What do I get out of it?
what you get out of it is the benefits of connecting, communicating, collaborating, how to connect with others on Facebook, writing, how to write a short, sweet, and to the point introduction to send to people that you want to connect with, different ways to communicate with others on Facebook, and all that
But
stuff.
sweetheart, you're telling them you're not saying I will quench your thirst. You're saying I will teach you H2O
No,
or
no,
how does H2O
you
work.
didn't let me finish. You didn't let me
I'm
finish.
sorry. Go ahead.
Um, Setting up an account on StreamYard, and yes, I actually show them out too. I actually have screenshots of the whole thing, and I go through the whole process. And I also teach them how to overcome camera shyness, because I've connected with some people who said that they're shy on camera. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to put this into the class and give them ways and encourage them to, get out of their comfort zone and to start being on camera. And in fact, the second student that joined my class near the end, he said that he was camera shy, but he wanted to be a part of my class, so he joined. And I told them, well, the fact that you're here and that you showed up just proves that you're willing to put in the work. So
So what if somebody wanted a remote job and all this was part of the curriculum? In order for me to help you get a remote job or a VA job, you have to be able to learn StreamYard. You have to be able to fix your bio. You have to be able to stop being camera shy. But because now you're showing them what you get out of it, they will be more willing to get over the pain of learning, because now in the end they get something which they really desire or they
right,
want. So what I am trying to tell you is all your 3C's course will lead them into becoming or getting a VA job.
mm-hmm.
So why not help them towards what they desire already and make this part of the journey? Because
Yes,
without this journey, they cannot achieve to be a good remote worker. They cannot achieve to become a good virtual assistant. But now this is part of the curriculum. You will help them by connecting, opening, teaching StreamYard, fixing their bio, so that people want to hire them. People want to work with them. People, if they can't show their face, why would somebody want to work with someone they can't trust someone?
exactly,
So
exactly.
instead of just saying, come learn, it's like, you know, come to school, you will get good grade. No, come to school because
And
end
you'll
of
learn
the
this,
day,
this,
this
and
is what you
this.
will get.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is all I'm saying is you just rephrase the whole experience and show the end game. Let me help you get a remote job. But before I do that, you have to be able to commit to yourself that you will change yourself, because if you don't change yourself, I can't help you.
Right.
And in order to change yourself, you have to fix your bio, you have to fix your photo, you have to fix your profile, you have to learn StreamYard, you have to learn to go live so that people can see you. And
Mm-hmm.
this is the reason why I'm asking you to do it. And now, all of a sudden, they are more interested in working with you because
Right.
they can see end of the day, there is a chance for me to earn $1,000 a month,
Mm-hmm.
which can then buy food for my table, pay my rent and whatnot. So they can see what exactly they are going to achieve by joining your classroom. That's what I'm. It's like the preacher saying, you go to heaven if you do all this. They
Mm-hmm.
don't say, oh, if you pray 5 times a day, you will. It's a great yoga. You don't. It's great, good for your body. Fine. I don't really care for my body. I want to go to the heaven. So they're all doing all those things because their end goal, they can see, oh, I can go to heaven. This is what I get in the heaven. Okay, I'll do this. So you're not showing the end game, you're showing the journey.
Yes.
But the end game is not achieved till you go through the journey. It's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of selling the journey, nobody says, when you're watching an airline advertisement, they don't say how the journey is happening. They show you that this is where you get to the journey. This is what happens when you go to Turkey. This is what happens when you go to Paris. They don't show that you have to sit on your ass for 24 hours. You have to eat bad food. You have to cramp in a small little seat. They don't show all that. It's and people say, okay, I have to do this, because end of the day they're thinking about the end game, not the
Yes,
journey. But actually life is the journey, not the end game.
exactly. It's all about the journey, not the destination.
But everybody wants the destination, not the journey. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but they're not willing to die for it.
Well, if they want to get to a certain destination, yet they're not willing to journey. Where are they going? Nowhere. They're going to stay where they are, and they're not going to go anywhere.
Well, my ass is hurting. I'm going to go, but I think you got what I was trying to say. And I hope that instead of talking about the journey, which I have been trying to talk them into for many, many years, it doesn't work. They don't listen. They don't want to go to the journey. They're like, why should I add your friends? It doesn't make sense to them. Why should I do this? It doesn't make sense to them. Why should I fix my bio? What has getting a job to do with my going live? They don't get it. But once they know this is what they will get, it's more people join in the journey. So I'm just saying, pitch the destination, not the journey. 3 C's are the journey. Without it, you cannot achieve a remote job. Without it, you cannot get freelancing. Without it, you can't do anything. But they're not going to do it until you get them on board, you connect with them, you communicate with them, and then collaborate with them to help them get to the journey. So that's all I'm saying. But it's up to you how you want to do it. I'll be supporting on both ways.
Thank you very much. Means a lot.
Okay, dokie. Thank you so much.
You're shukriya.
You are welcome. Oh, are you learning Hindi yet?
Hindi. Oh, Praven taught me one phrase. Well, actually, it's not Hindi. It's Gujarati. His home language. I know how to say "I love you" in Gujarati. It's "Hon tener pyar karuchu." That's "I love you." Just imagine both of us saying that to each other in bed. It can get pretty heated.
Cool. All right. Enjoy your evening, day, morning, whatever you are.
It's evening. Well, yes, evening.
All right. I'm going to play an ad, then I'll end it.
All right.
Poverty, disparity, malnutrition, health problems, lack of opportunities, and lack of jobs. These are the problems we saw all around us, and we wanted to take an action to solve them, as God helps only the ones who help themselves. We started ventures that will help to reduce these problems from the planet. For education, we created Rehan School, empowering 2 billion people who struggle to even read their own name in any language. Then we created Rehan University with a goal to allow people to learn from anywhere in the world, from the best minds of the world. Then we made Rehan Training, giving people skills to learn again from the convenience of their internet connection. For health, we created Rehan Health to create awareness videos on how things affect human beings and how we can reduce these effects. For opportunities, we are working on creating 100 open source business models that people can take franchise off for just $100 and make minimum of $300 a month. We want everyone in the world to be able to have an opportunity to make enough money for themselves and their families, to not be desperate to look for sources that are harmful to other human beings. We are Rehan Foundation, empowering humanity.